All right. Next, we will explore how, as Americans of African descent, we've mastered nearly everything except money. With a $1.3 trillion buying power, we have massive influence. But where are we really flexing that power? Let's dive into that.
Yes.
Now, this topic right here is like something that I really want. I don't care if we spend a little time on it, because this is something that I really want to get out to our people, our culture, and our community. Like, we really have to tap into, this buying power that we have. You know, I think as Americans of African descent, I think we come in as like the 8th strongest economy in the world.
If we were a country.
If we were a country.
And that's just Americans of African descent alone. Yeah, just and that's roughly about 45 collectively, we'll just say. 45 million.
And it's like, we have this power. What are we doing with it? Like, I seen the thing where they said Target lost like $15 million. Billion dollars from the boycott.
Market value, right?
Market value from the boycott. And, what raised in my mind, it was like, so where did that money go? Mm-hmm. Did we boycott Target to give it to Walmart? Did we boycott Target to give it to Costco, Sam's Club? You know what I'm saying? Like, why not boycott it and then take that $15 billion and put it into the, regentrifying of our communities?
Yeah.
And upbringing, some of our bad neighborhoods and communities.
Well, goes back to education, something that we talked about in one of the previous episodes. If you know better, you will do better. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And one thing that they really don't talk to us about when it comes to financial literacy is the fact that our income is our secret weapon when it comes to us having some level of financial stability. But again, it all hinges on how we view our income. So if we view our income as tickets just to buy stuff, then we're just going to buy stuff with our money. Right. If we view money as a tool to improve our credit so we can buy more stuff and bigger stuff, then that's what we're going to view it and use our money for. If we view money as tickets or as a tool of leverage to expand, our earnings, think of every dollar and cent that we have as a soldier in our financial army. And our goal is just to, multiply, get more quote unquote territory. Then that's what we're going to do with our money. However, you have to be taught these things.
Yes, you do.
And if you just grow up in the regular universal human paradigm of just the reality, then when it comes to money specifically, 9 times out of 10, you're going to view it as just a ticket to buy stuff because that's all you see in your immediate environment.
Yeah.
Literally.
And we're not saying don't buy. I mean, because,
be more strategic.
Yeah. Money is made. I have one of my mottos. Money is made to spend.
From The Wire, like Omar said, money got spenders, no owners. Money ain't got no owners, just spenders.
Just spenders, exactly. And that brings me to another point as I think about that whole Target boycott. So there was an uproar about Black History Month, and it was like, oh, they might take Black History Month away, and yada, 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 which they wasn't considering at all. That was just some more propaganda thrown out there. But I started to think about Black History Month. What is Black History Month to us? Is that the month where we put all our money collectively to, start a new financial institution? Is that the month we take all our money from out the mainstream and put it into all of our businesses and maybe, create a new school, like maybe help Dr. Umar Johnson, with the Frederick Douglass Academy or whatever the case may be. And I'm just using that as an example. But what does having this month of Black History Month, what do we come out of Black History Month having? Just another day where they talk about Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth.
Just reflects, as the language says, just a celebration of our past figures. But to your point, there's no productivity there.
There's no productivity.
Group economics, because I agree with you. Real quick, there's some stats I just wanted to share on kind of like in that vein. So, as we talked about, the the spending power of Americans of African descent is hovering between 1.3, 1.6. There's estimated to be as high as 1.7 to 1.9 trillion by 2030. Now, the one I wanted to specifically talk about was where it says states with the largest black markets. We got Texas, New York, Georgia, California, Florida, Maryland, North Carolina, Virginia, Illinois, and New Jersey. So to your point, why can't Black History Month be a month where we highlight, let's just say, all those cities and talk about the black economic, or the infrastructure or the group, the group economics that the Americans of African descent in these areas are having.
And we're all connected by Blue Ivy's internet, so therefore, we all could support, and contribute.
We highlighting, because that's, in my opinion, that's a direction we can pivot the month to make it mean something and matter, specifically in regards to developing our economic infrastructure, as well as to achieve, as Byron Allen would talk about, the last leg of the Malcolm X's and the Dr. King's mission of economic inclusion.
Yes,
and we can only achieve economic inclusion by operating as a group, as a block, when it comes to our finances from a national perspective.
Yeah, that's one of the days of Kwanzaa, collective
I didn't know that.
economics. Yeah.
So we got to implement that.
I love Kwanzaa. Yeah. I posted it on my social media. Like, I love the principle of Kwanzaa. And one of those days is collective economics, where we work together, invest in each other, buy from each other, sell to each other, and kind of create a economic boom within our community. So yeah, that was just the point. And then, like you said, we have to be taught this. We have to be learned. We have to be learned this. You got to understand how money works. And there was this video where this guy was saying how to build. Like, you got to build a 5-story building. And on the first level, you purchase this, and then you purchase that. Roll that video. Then I want to talk about that. Elaborate that.
You must build a 5-story building. And this is how you get your wealth and power. Now, the first thing you work on is economics. You started practicing group economics, making your money bounce in your own community 8 to 12 times before it leaves. The second floor is politics. Our people got that backwards. They want to get into politics before they get in the economy. Backwards as hell. You won't make it. You buy every politician with the money you made on the first floor. The third floor is your court system, your police system. You control the court system, so they won't be getting 40 years in jail for having marijuana. Then the fourth floor is media. You take your money off the first floor and you buy media. Black folk own 35 thousandths of 1% in media. You don't own media, you can't communicate, you can't organize, you can't motivate. The fifth floor is education. Education is a tool, just like a hammer and a saw. But you got to have an economy. See, when a kid graduates from school, the first thing you do, he should be able to go back to his own community and start building businesses and industries and drawing money into his community and holding it.
See? So that was the level. It was like, first we got to do the group economics, like build up our wealth. Then once we build up our wealth, then we go into the politics. We support the politicians that's representing us and supporting our communities. After we have the politicians, then we go into the law, the legal ramifications of things, making sure we got the right police officers governing our neighborhoods, and legislation is being passed that works in our favor, where we're not being racially profiled and things like that, and being shot without having any weapons on us and stuff like that. Then after that, number 4, we get into the media.
Yep.
And then so the media is, we know
pretty much what we're doing right now.
Yes, we know what the media is. That the media is the means to reach the masses, and so therefore we want to control our media. Shout out to Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey, and I heard Cat Williams just bought
Byron Allen.
Oh, for sure, Byron Allen. Like he's number one. Like, shout out to all these people that are taking these steps, and to acquire these massive aspects of media, so we can get out the different and the important messages out there to our people. And then after we conquer media, then we go to the education. And education, where, like we said, started at home, with teaching our young generations about STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Yep.
And then once that start working all together, we'll have Black Wall Streets all over the place.
So you want to know how crazy this is? I'm going to tie what he just said in with what my brother Magic Johnson has to say about this
Okay.
very same topic. And
Okay.
Because what you just said is going to tie us together perfectly. Let's roll that clip.
The problem with our people is that we come late to the party a lot of times. We come late to the financial party. We're great at everything, but the last thing we got to dominate is money. And so we got to continue to look at that and how do we do that? Because fashion, sports, entertainment, I can keep going, you know. We're really good at it, but when it comes to understanding that we got to dominate money and do it young. I didn't come from money, but I had to learn it. You know,
So as he was saying, how we tie what you just said and what he just said in is, as Dr. Claude Anderson talked about, you got to build from the ground floor and go up. So started economy, but as Magic said, we've mastered everything but money because we kind of actually hustle backwards in that we started education.
Right.
Because what do we typically say in our households? Well, got to get your education. So it's like we started education, then it's like we hustling backwards, and then the last thing is money. But again, how do we build a strong foundation for ourselves, our households, and our communities if we hustling backwards?
And we have the means. Like, we got
But
the
that's what I
dough.
was gonna say. Well, and that's what I was gonna say too. To your point about starting off on that ground floor, we have the buying power because we got 1 point with whatever trillion in quote unquote spending power. But we had to reverse our view of it. So how we perceive this money. So again, there's a difference between perceiving it as spending power as opposed to economic capital.
Right.
Or investment capital.
Right.
So do we have 1.6 trillion in spending power, or do we have 1.6 trillion in investment capital?
Investment capital.
Because if we have 1.6 in investment capital, that's how we begin to change the narrative.
Yep.
And as Magic said, start dominating financially, because now we're looking at our money as a tool that we can multiply.
What my Muslim brother say about how much we making? There's a video. I like this guy a lot. He speaks a lot of facts and truth, and a lot of great nuggets of wisdom that he instilled into our community. And he had a lot to say about our buying power. Let's roll.
Right now, do you know we brought in $1.3 trillion last year as a people? Out of 226 nations on the earth, that makes black people in America the 8th richest nation. We brought in $600 billion more than Spain, $700 billion more than Mexico. Yet Spain has 46 million people like we do, and they maintain a 208,000 square mile landmass, and they own everything. Mexico has 131,700,000 people, and they're maintaining 771,500 square miles with half the money we have. Yet they have whole countries, and we don't have nothing we can call our own. Something happened to us. We got to get back into what they call today financial literacy, but we got to do it quick because we got to start doing something for ourselves. We got the dollars. We just need some more sense to go with them dollars. We need some more sense because right now we the leaders in unnecessary spending. We always buying stuff we don't need with money that we don't have from people that we don't like to impress people that we don't even know. And the Negro, the black mind right now has been hardwired where happiness is connected to spending when it needs to be hardwired to investing and to saving. And if we can renegotiate the contract in the black psyche, well, happiness to spending, to investing and saving, I think we'll be able to build a bright future for our people.
I mean, there it is right there. That's exactly what I just said.
Yeah, we gotta connect that which is that excitement you get for spending. We gotta connect that to investing and building and making the money work for itself, because we got it. We got 1.3 to 1.7
to 1.9, whatever
trillion dollars. It's trillions. Right. We got trillions of dollars every year, not once in a lifetime. Every year we are able to collect this amount of money. And so just imagine if we changed our mindset, what we could do with $1.5 trillion a year going into a collective economic structure that supports our communities.
You want to know where the money is going? Would you like to know? Would y'all like to find out? Could you pull up that slide again? I was referencing the facts about our spending power. It talks about it right there. As it says, Black Americans have strong buying power in the beauty category. We spend more online than in-store on beauty products. So there it is right there. A bulk of our money goes to beauty products.
And you know who gets that money? Who's selling them beauty products?
You know, not people not people in the American or African descent community.
No, it's not.
It's not our people. But that's what Dr. Claude Anderson was talking about, where on that first economic level, when it comes to group economics, the money has to bounce off the people in that economy 8 to 12 times. It has to circulate in the economy. So as of right now, if you go do your research, Dr. Claude Anderson talks about that as well. But the money in our community specifically, it circulates, I think he said 6 hours. And that was 6 hours. That was years ago. So I would imagine now it's probably less.
Yes.
But
so explain to our viewers what exactly that means, the dollar circulating.
So we let's just keep it simple. Everybody gets a paycheck on Friday. So let's just say you got the black man, the white man, the Chinese man, and the Mexican man. They all get their paycheck 5 p.m. on Friday. Mm-hmm. Circulating the money basically means in our communities 6 hours. So before 12 a.m. that night, Friday night, the black man has spent all his money. Like, it's gone. All of it. Gone. Mm-hmm. And he didn't spend that $1 on within his community. And by in his community, meaning that, again, I'll take that back. He probably did spend some money because he did go to the barbershop. He probably did go to the barbershop. So, but relatively speaking, the bulk of his money he spent, because again, he went to the mall outside of his neighborhood. He went to the restaurant outside of his neighborhood. He went to, the convenience store to get his Wham Whams and Zuzus outside of his neighborhood. Everywhere he spends his money is outside of his neighborhood, outside of his community.
And even the stores in the neighborhood are not
part of it. Right. That's still giving it to another community, right?
So you got 7-Eleven, that ain't our community.
Yeah.
You have the hair product stores, that ain't our community. Mm-hmm. You have the liquor stores and stuff like that. The grocery stores.
We don't know Ralph's. We don't know Smart. Compared to, let's just say, other communities where, again, like in the Hispanic communities, they own their own grocery stores. They have their own media. They own everything, to where, again, when they need to go to the grocery store, or the same things that people in our communities need to go to, they're taking their money and spending it with someone in their community, though, which is the difference. So in order for us to be able to do that, again, it does come back to us establishing some sort of organization in regards to our infrastructure. So we have to start having more people placed in these roles within our community. So we will need more tradesmen, more health professionals, more legal professionals. Because again, anytime we got to spend money, if it's not with somebody within our community, and that's, as Dr. Claude Anderson says, we're not practicing group economics, whereas every other country is, every other culture is. For example, we live in Los Angeles. You can go up western to like Pico and Venice, and that's pretty much Koreatown. And you go see hospitals, you go see banks, you go see grocery stores, you go see schools, everything Dr. Claude Anderson and Dr. Umar Jackson talks about. You go see all that in that 4 to 6 to 8 block radius. But then when you come to quote unquote the hood, you don't see it.
Yeah, you don't see it, and then the businesses that you do see aren't ours.
We got
everybody eating off of us. Mm-hmm. They're eating off us, like it's crazy.
Like you said, the beauty salons, the beauty shops, the convenience stores, all that stuff. It matters.
How often does the dollar circulate in the other communities?
So I believe, let's just say, I think the highest one was the Asian or the Jewish community, but it was just to say like 18 days or something like that.
Yeah, wow, 18 days compared to 6 hours.
Right.
Like, come on, we got to get it together, people. We got to get it together. And I don't know exactly where to start. So what I do on my own right, mm-hmm. Anybody that I come encounter with that's a business owner that's selling something, I always try to support it, no matter what it is. If somebody's like, I sell T-shirts, or I make hoodies, or I make hats, or anything. If there's anyone in my community that's striving to be an entrepreneur, I always try to support it. Because each one teach one, and you got to start. It starts with yourself. You got to start with the man in the mirror, like Michael said. You know, and I encourage us to do that, to, you know, look for these stores and these businesses. And I know, you know, then the conversation comes up, well, the customer service ain't the same when you go to Black-owned businesses, but being aware of the mental loads that we carry and mental responsibilities that we carry, you know, that should give you a little bit more grace for you to share with them and understand that, you know, they're facing different challenges than, you know, the average consumer. It costs more for us to get our goods and things like that, and so therefore you just got to try to. And then, you know, to the business owners that are Black, you know, get your shit together and stop playing.
Right.
You know, don't be in there with no attitude and on your cell phone and all that.
All right. So to go back to your point about the lifespan of a dollar in our community. So as we see here, the Asian community is 28 days.
Almost a whole month.
So the Jewish community, I said 18 days, but 19 days.
6 hours.
6 hours.
Can y'all believe that? Like, look at that. Like, let that resonate with you guys. Like, you know, the Asian community, so when they get their check, they going down there to Asia Town or Koreatown or Chinatown. That's where they're eating at. That's where they're shopping at. That's who they're banking with. That's who, you know, those are the specialists that they're seeing. The grocery stores.
Legal, everything.
That's who they're going to get their legal advice from.
You know what I'm saying?
The plumber, they're going.
And peep this though, to your point, they have stores that have all of that in it. They got a mall. It's like in LA, it's like off of Western and let's just say 6th or 3rd. But it's right in the middle of Los Angeles. But when you go in there, it's nothing but Asian stores.
Yeah.
So that's how they're able to rotate them. Because again, they're going, they get paid. They go into their mall for the most part. And then, so they go spend their money at the grocery store. Then the grocery store, he need his taxes done. So he goes to the guy, the Asian tax guy in that mall. Then that guy, he needs his dry cleaning. He goes to the dry cleaner. That dry cleaner, they need, and it's just, so that's how it bounces and goes within 20, because they spending money within themselves. As opposed to us, we get our money in, like I said, we going to, if we living in Watts, we going to, like I said, we going to the club in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I think a way to start, you know, is to put some responsibility on the people that have the influence in our communities, like the people that we look up to and aspire to be, like, you know, your Beyoncés and your, you know, your Jay-Z's and your, you know, Tyler Perry's. And I think they owe it to our community to, you know, Beyonce open up a mall, you know, that's, you know, full of just Black business owners and Black product. And if you put your stamp on it and your approval and your name and your influence on it, of course, you know, at least the Beehive will be there. You know what I'm saying? And then we could just grow from that and grow from there. Like, you know, I know LeBron James is doing some things, and I know, you know, but I just think that we could just do a little more. And be a little more intentional about what we're doing, and not being afraid to say, this is for my community. And, you know, and not try to sugarcoat it or make it encumbersome of brown, Black and brown, and, you know, all these other people. Like, no, let's just do something straight for us that benefits us. And then from that, then we can, you know, once we get on our feet, of course, we're loving people. Like, it's in our nature to help. You know, that's what we do.
So to give y'all some fundamentals, some basics to get started, to become more financially literate, to become, you know, more financially stable. Our good friend in these digital streets, Mr. Dave Ramsey, you know, he has 5 things any American can do to win with money. So let's roll that clip.
If you do these 5 things, you will win with money 100% of the time. Number 1, you need to have a written plan, a budget. No one accidentally wins. Second thing is you got to get out of debt. Your most powerful wealth building tool is your income. And when you spend your whole freaking life giving your money to banks who fill up the skyline and have furniture nicer than yours, that makes you stupid. When you don't have any payments, you know what you've got? Money. Live on less than you make. Number 3. In the house of the wise are stores of choice food and oil, but a foolish man devours all that he has. If you spend everything you make, you're a fool. You're going to get on a plan. You're going to get out of debt. You're going to live on less than you make. And then you're going to save some money. You know how rich people get rich? They save money. I don't know if I agree with Dave Ramsey's investment assumptions. I don't give a crap if you agree with my investment assumptions. You know what my investment assumption is? My assumption is you're going to be broke until you save money. That's my assumption. You need to get up off your assumption and go do something. You need to get up off your assumption and start investing some money. 100% of the people that don't save money don't have any. And if you'll get out of debt and you'll invest and you live on less than you make and you have a plan, then you can do the last one. And it's the most fun you'll ever have with money. You can be outrageously generous.
There it is.
Wow. There
5
it is,
simple
people.
ways to win with money, ladies. You know what I mean? Now you know what to do. So specifically in our community, I believe that's where we have to start. If every individual, every able-bodied adult individual that's producing an income, if we can just do those 5 things as an individual, then that will influence our households, and those households will influence the community, and those communities can influence regions. Those regions influence states, and those states can influence the nation.
And the church has a practice where you tithe. Tithe unto yourself, my people. Mm-hmm. Tithe unto yourself. Don't be tithed unto no preacher. That preacher don't need another car, another wife, or another ring, or whatever they got, or another house. Tithe unto yourself. Every dollar you make, save 10 cents. As simple as that. 10th of all your earnings, put it into some type of managed
high yield
money,
savings account,
marketing account,
brokerage account.
You
right.
really don't want to do the banks. The banks ain't really working for you. You really got to get that financial literacy where you know how to invest this money that you're getting, and not just putting it in a bank and getting 0.25% interest return. Like, no bueno.
Ideally, you want your interest rate to outpace that of inflation.
Yes.
Which the last time I checked was roughly maybe somewhere between 3 and 4%. So to your point, you need investments that produce rates of returns higher than the rates of inflation. So ideally, they say in the stock market is anywhere between 5 to 7%. Then if we account the 3% or the 4% for inflation, let's just say minus the 5%, then that means you up 1 or 2%. But still, that 1 or 2%, you're still winning, because again, we got to get out of in our community specifically, we got to get out of I saw a video, the gentleman described it as like the dope dealer mentality when it comes to money, where we're trying to it's like we're trying to get a big lick every time we do something, as opposed to just getting those base hits. So I guess that's a better way of saying it. Instead of stepping up every time we step up the plate thinking that we got to hit a home run, it's nothing wrong with hitting the base hit. There's nothing wrong with getting to first base. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing wrong with getting to first base, ladies and gentlemen. Mm-hmm. And it starts with them 5 things that you can do to win with money.
In our community, I'm a mortgage broker. I see so many one-person applications, and that one person makes $5,000 a month. It's simple math. 46% is what's called your housing expense ratio. Now let's say there's a husband and wife, and they both make $5,000 each. What's 46% of 10 grand? $4,600 per month versus $2,300 per month. Right now in Broward County, the average mortgage payment as of March 2023, $3,000 per month. So when you don't have mom and child teaming up together, or husband and wife teaming up together, or grandma that has Social Security, mom that has a job, child that has a job teaming up together, you're not going to qualify for a mortgage right now. That's how you get pushed out of your neighborhood. It's just that simple. So if we don't fix the fundamental problems, marriage, stop divorcing each other over trivial matters. It's the truth. I'm speaking the truth. Like, come on, at some point you gotta have respect in the relationship and not yell at each other. Just calm it down a little bit and think about the bigger picture.
Yeah, so that's a whole nother point to what you were saying. Another step that could be taken, or area of interest where we need to concentrate on, changing the way we, operate, is with the decision to separate or to divorce or not even get married. I think that's what's making us fall behind other cultures and races, is because I think we discussed this in another episode. You know, the rate of 2-parent household is significantly lower than the other races, and they are literally outshining us and outpacing us in every endeavor. And so, like the gentleman just said in that video, like he look at these applications and it's just one income coming in, and they can't approve you for the mortgage.
Right.
You know, and then he didn't even just say, another thing that was good, he didn't even just say like husband and wife. He said parent and child teaming up, or grandparent with Social Security, the child, or whatever.
You want to know what that's called?
Group economics. That's exactly what it's called. It's called group economics, and us working collectively together. And, you know, we just got to get into that mindset that, you know, what they say, 2 heads is better than one.
But here's the reality of the situation. We do practice group economics, just not in areas that matter. Because if the family want to go to Jamaica, or that cruise, or that bus trip to Vegas,
right?
Or, you know, little Tay Tay having a prom, you know, little Samantha's birthday party, or Cindy's baby shower. We'll set the group text up. Hey, we need everybody to pitch in $100.
Yeah,
so we can go and make sure little Timmy, you know, so it's like we do it, just not in areas that actually matter in regards to
Facts.
Our group as a whole on a national governmental
Facts.
level. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. We already have all the means to do it. Like I said, we'll go in we'll go group in. I mean, we'll practice group economics to co-sign on a car.
For sure.
But we won't do it to co-sign on a piece of property. Or business, because now it's too risky.
It's risky, yeah.
Getting a car, where do I sign?
I'll co-sign for you. You know what I'm saying?
But like, can I get this loan for this business, or to buy this business, or this? Like, nah, that's too risky. I can't do that.
So once again, these are all things for you just to look closer into and just consider. You know, ways that you can, you know, implement some of these things in your everyday life and your family, so that, you know, we ultimately, you know, rise up.